back, fellow YouTubers. As you can tell, my video does not pick up from where my last video ended. I didn't really do much between the two clips, and I felt like it wasn't really important because I was just flying between planets after finishing repairing my ship, so I left that out, and this is where my next video picks up. Hope you enjoy it. At this point in the game, I have not figured out how to use the analytic scanner, or whatever it's called. When you hit L2, you open this little telescope thing, and that's what's used to scan. I still have not figured out how to do that. I think whenever you hit L3, which is the pulse scanner or whatever it's called, that's how you scan things, so if I keep doing that in the video, don't be surprised.
Data received.
At this point in the video, I end up just sitting in my ship for a long time. I don't remember why, but I was called away to do a chore or something. So now I'll cut to the next clip so that you can have something to actually watch. As I've already said, I'm not very good with recording and editing, so once again there's another clip missing. I don't know how much is actually passed, but I'll try to fill you in with what I believe happened between these two videos. Between the clips just now, there wasn't much that occurred. All that occurred is I left the planet that I was on and I went up to the space station and docked. Here I remembered that I had not redeemed my codes for pre-ordering the game, and I took my time to redeem them. I now have the blaster, the ship, and the 10,000 credits. For some reason or another, I needed some carbon, so I decided I'd come up to this plant right here and destroy it and get some carbon. However, for some reason on this planet, that's like their most prized possession or something, and as soon as I start shooting it, I instantly get 3 dots on my wanted list, which means at least 2 or more sentinel drones will come after me, and these little walkers will come after me, as you can see. These things are pretty tough, but they can be killed pretty easily if you have good enough gear. For some reason, despite my last encounter with the Sentinels, I decided it'll be a great idea to shoot one of these things again. I have no idea why I do this, but it's probably because I need carbon. However, I later find out these things are actually some sort of creature that when you get close enough, they have these little pufferfish-like spines that shoot out and sting you. As I told you, I find out there's some sort of spiky thing that likes to shoot out and poke people. At this point, I have encountered iridium, but only in space, so I decide it'd be kinda cool to mine a little bit on the planet. It looks weird with its reddish, cracked appearance, usually forming in arcs, but can form in other structures. I have no idea why my grenades did not assist in breaking it down, but maybe that's just a feature iridium has. At this point in the game, I decided it'd be cool to mess around with the map a little bit. I've not actually warped yet, so I decided it'd be cool if I actually warp. But I try and figure out the controls first, so I go into free cam, and I look around a bit, and then I go back into the navigation mode, where I select the next galaxy to warp to. It takes quite a while to warp. It takes about 30 seconds if I calculate it correct. However, I'm sure you didn't want to sit through that entire thing, so I put it on 1.5 times the speed. Since I've just entered a new star system, I decide the wisest choice would be to enter the space station. At this point, since this is only the second space station I've went to, I do not realize that most of the right side doors, when landed, require some sort of an Atlas pass. Sometimes it's a level 2, sometimes it's a level 3. since I'm not that great of a flyer. Up ahead, you will see that I actually hit an asteroid. I'm not exactly good at this yet, at this point in the game. I think it'll just give me damage, but it actually looks like when you hit some sort of asteroid, it will break it apart and give you the elements it contains. When I saw this floating rock, I was kind of confused. I thought, why isn't it supported by anything? Is it some sort of magnetic rock or magical rock or just a space rock? I later find out on most planets this is usually just copper. For some reason in this game it likes to float in little rocks. I didn't really need aluminum at this point. I was mostly just gathering it for the fun of it. There aren't many blueprints in the game that actually require it, and even in my current file, I still don't really have many that actually need aluminum. For some reason, this is also another case of an element that cannot be mined using the grenades. It's really weird that there's a lot of glitches like that in the game. Whether or not they planned that or not, I don't know. I think it's a glitch, but it could just be a mechanic they've added. As you can tell from this clip right here, for some reason I get distracted with the sky. I get distracted with many things, but usually not the sky. It's usually a rock or something that looks kind of cool, or an element that I haven't discovered yet.
Technology recharge.
While I'm traveling between planets, there is one thing I forgot to say. In my last video, I left out a little bit that I forgot to add. As you know, I was planning on changing my username for my YouTube channel, and it's been that way for a while. I finally decided what I'm going to use. I'm going to change it to In Absentia Gaming. It's kind of weird and bizarre, but that's what I've decided to choose. It sounds kind of cool, and I like the way it sounds. So, hopefully you do too. So don't be surprised when it changes from No Man's Sky to In Absentia Gaming. That's all. I was hoping that I actually ended up on the planet. However, that's not the case. I end up flying in the atmosphere for a while before actually ending up down on the planet. That's pretty much all I've got for my video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave a comment. All the comments and likes help towards my account. Don't forget to share with your friends if you think it's cool. That's all I have for this video. Goodbye.